After the minor setback of the previous video, we shall track back and try and find another way around to whatever city we have to get to next. Because I like to have a competition, I did not choose any opponent. That makes perfect sense. Gordon Bennett. I challenge anybody who's never played Pokemon before to start with Pokemon Green English version and try and find out what the hell is going on. If you can finish that within 25 hours, you are a god of Pokemon. Just be prepared to lock yourself in a darkened room and say bye-bye to 3 months of your life. Skunk, why don't you believe you can win? Well, I don't know about you, but I believe I can win every time. I go into every match believing that I can do it and slaughter all in my path. And why do all the characters call you a skunk in this game? Maybe because Fool hasn't had a bath, let alone been to bed for the last 5 years. And I suppose cleaning up all that Pokemon poop, you would acquire a certain smell, wouldn't you? Anyway, here's a linen that we were hearing about earlier, and quite a vicious type it is too, although it is dead. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Now look, you've already spelled bye-bye correctly there, so why have you spelled it incorrectly the second time? Maybe Pokemon Green is hedging its bets here. As you can see, I've sped up this part because you don't want to see me walking around like a blooming idiot. We have to trek back to the previous city via that massive underground tunnel, underground tunnel, and have Steam uses quite satisfactory sword skill to cut off the slender of the road, which looks like a giant piece of broccoli. Whoever said video games had to make any sense? Here we are, and we're gonna go through the process I just described. Select Steam's sword skill. Steam, fight by sword skill, quite satisfactory. And it's gone. Guess what's next? More trainer battles! You also have pet. Wonderful. See, once again there, it's spelled you correctly the second time round, but not the first time round. There's some serious issues with translation here, although it doesn't take a genius to work that out. I pity anybody who might have bought this cart on import when Pokemon Green had just come out in Japan and before the blue and red versions were released in the Western world. Because you'd have been completely screwed, wouldn't you? Pokemon is difficult to fathom at the best of times, so... Anyway, thanks to my fantastic playthrough that I'm sure you're playing along with here, you will be able to complete this game. Yay, we leveled up again. Hey, how strong it is. Yes, I'm sure you're referring to Dummy, who is quite simply the best the Pokemon world has ever seen. We found Skill Machine 30. Or rather, we found Skill Machine 30. Oh, I suppose we'd better fight this bloke. Haha! Just in time! I'm just feel bored! I'll probably do a part where I take a look at some of the skill machines, or at least try and teach them to some of my Pokemon. Which is usually fruitless, because half the skill machines don't apply to the Pokemon that you collect. In the meantime, however, I shall continue to cheese my way through these battles and try and use Dummy as much as I can to level him up. You won't do yet. You won't do yet. I still believe you are, but Pet has disappeared. Or rather, dispeared. In other words, he's disarmed himself from the spear that he once used as a weapon. I'm just gonna add that to the list here of words that this game has made up for submission to the Collins English Dictionary, people. Excellent! Who are you, holding a not bad pet? Walk with faltering steps, you are? I'm pretty sure that monologue there contains segments of 2, maybe 3 different conversations melded together in some sort of weird mishmash of Pokemon Green Engrishness. Here's a shadow, and we've killed it in one go again. If you remember back to the beginning of the game, you could pick up a shadow as one of them. Lose. He just says lose. Well, at least he's succinct. Yes, the Shadow Lizard is one of the 3 starter Pokemon, and if you do not pick that up, then you cannot acquire it during any point of a normal game, unless you trade it. And this bloke tells us some no doubt highly useful information about pupae hatching. Thank you very much, Mr. Science Teacher. Now go home. Vangu has brought his drive into full play. Yes, that whizzes past a little bit quickly for you to read it, but that is what it says. So presumably, he's brought his... There again, he did it again. He brought along his car. Or perhaps his hard drive, which he had to wipe due to a nasty virus. Hey, what do I get up very early every day for? I don't know. Are you a paperman? Or perhaps you help the milkman? I don't know about your personal life, don't ask me these questions. And anyway, you should be able to answer them yourself. You seem to know so much about pupae and larvae and stuff like that. If I wanted to know about biology, I'd go to school, which I never did. I just stayed home playing Pokemon all day. It didn't seem to do me any harm though, because now I know that rock beats scissors. Haha! Come here! Hace a try! Yeah, just a sec. Ah, hello, is this the Collins English Dictionary, people? Yes, I have a list of words that I'd like to submit. What? Well, I got them from Pokemon Green, so that uses them. What do you mean it needs more than 3 people in the world to use it? Well, that went well, didn't it? Never mind, I'll try them again later. Might have someone who's more receptive to suggestions. Our lovely insect fool. Go! Right, so once again, he's not addressing me as a person, fool, which should, by rights, have a capital letter. He's calling his insect a fool. That's no way to treat a pet. Mind you, I don't even know if insects have ears, so... Aha! Here we have an appearance of the lesser spotted Reason. And we have killed it. It was probably endangered, but who cares? Because after all, it's only a foolish insect. So far, I don't believe we've found out where the heck we're going, although this bloke says he's on the road to the Aster City. So finally, we know where we're going, but not what we're doing, as is usual for this game. And once again, I'm not entirely sure whether Aster is a colour or not. So we're kind of deviating from that theme a little bit now, aren't we? Never mind, for variety is, of course, the spice of life. Which is why I'm using dummy to slaughter everybody every single time here. Although, as you will see, I will utilise Bikak a little bit down the line. You do not agree? Agree about what? About the fact that you are a great big ninny? Oh, dearie me. You'll have to excuse me for lowering the tone of the conversation, but then this game does that to you. Especially this bloke who says, I am a strong boy, and would I like to come and contest? Oh, Pokemon Green, you are truly the master of the double entendre. I don't think I've mentioned this before, but this Wanley's hair makes him look like a complete blooming idiot. like some sort of West Coast surfer dude. Although I have absolutely nothing against West Coast surfer dudes, it's just, it would be the last thing that I'd expect to see in a kid's game about fighting monsters. Why? Just why? Aha! I believe we are about to evolute. So let's watch closely. As my monster very slowly flickers into a monster that is a little bit larger. And Dummy has evoluted from Kermay into Kermie. Suppose it makes sense, doesn't it? Now you cannot complain that you haven't seen anything interesting in this video, because that, I'm sure you'll agree, was exciting, wasn't it? No special care for girls. Nope, there is no room for chivalry in the world of Pokemon. And what the heck is this thing? Nis, which I suppose is short for Nissan. And I was reading earlier this week that certain Americans pronounce it Nissan, which is an interesting alternative. No, I can't accomplish. Fool picked up $46. Yes, alternative pronunciations are what makes the world interesting, or at least certain parts of it. I occasionally go to Gymnasium Pet, lose, but what? Were you gonna say something else? Probably not. Alright, let's spice things up a little bit by bringing into play another of my Pokemon. Bicho! Are you ready for your debut in this video? And can you win us this fight? I'm confident that he can. And when he's done that, we will be ready to enter the caves. The second caves. Or rather, it could be the third caves. I don't know. But I think this is the one where you need Flash. And I can't for the life of me remember where you get that. So I'll have to go away and try and find that out for the next part, in which we will take on the Rock Mountain Tunnel. So until then, see ya!